Let me reintroduce myself.
Hey, I'm Tasia, like Fantasia, and I'm a creative entrepreneur with ADHD. When I say I'm a creative entrepreneur with ADHD, I mean I'm building my multiple small businesses around my interests and skill set. I currently run two small businesses through my LLC, my consulting business, Rhythm Productive, and my sound healing business, Harmonic Vibes. Even though I'm not actively performing as a musician right now, I still identify as a musician first and everything else after. So I'm a musician, a Notion certified consultant, a sound healing artist, and a holistic mindset coach. I am a neurosparkly girly and mental health advocate. My lifelong loves have always been music and psychology. So let's rewind a little bit and say hello to teenage Tasia. I was a huge band geek and I started playing percussion my freshman year in high school when I joined drumline. I played bass, I've played tenors, snare drum, pretty much all of the marching percussion instruments at one point or another, but I really fell in love with mallet percussion. So fast forward to my senior year when it came time to decide what to do for college. I couldn't decide between majoring in music or psychology, so I picked both. And I first went to school at Northern Arizona University straight out of high school. But at the time, I thought the only way to combine music and psychology was through music therapy. So I wound up transferring schools to Arizona State, which music therapy turned out not to be a great fit for me, and I dropped out for a while. After dropping out of Arizona State, I spent most of my 20s working odd jobs and teaching percussion on the side. During that time, I started and failed a number of small businesses because I really struggled with traditional 9-to-5 jobs, and I just never lasted at them very long. So tell me you have ADHD without telling me you have ADHD. Like, just look at my job resume and there's a hint right there. But at the time, I didn't realize it, so I just thought there was something wrong with me. Finally, when I was 23 or 24, I think, I got a gig driving a golf cart in Old Town Scottsdale, Arizona. And this was not like driving a golf cart on a golf course. I was basically a taxi driver, but a golf cart. And I would drive people around Old Town Scottsdale between the hotels, restaurants, bars, entertainment. And it was a great gig for me because there was a lot of interest, a lot of variation, and I got to have full control over my schedule. With this job, technically, you rent the golf cart from the company, and then anything you make on top of that rental fee is yours to keep, very similar to just a regular taxi job. So I got to control my schedule, work when I wanted, leave work when I wanted. And in those days, that was the early 2010s. So golf cart taxis were a really new and novel concept, and business was great. I wound up making enough money that I could pay for community college classes out of pocket to prep for finishing my psychology degree, because I decided that's something I really wanted to do, was at least finish a bachelor's degree. And when I made that decision, I also decided to take a chance on myself. And I auditioned for the percussion studio back at NAU again, Northern Arizona. So I told myself if I won a music scholarship, I would go ahead and just double major in music and psychology like I'd always planned. Things hadn't really changed too much. I still loved music. I still loved psychology. And when I decided to go back to finish my undergraduate degrees, at the time, I wanted to go all the way. I was going to pursue higher education in all the way through a PhD program in music psychology or music cognition research, and then become a professor. That was the plan. That's what I wanted to do. But it was roughly my junior year, I had a really serious nerve injury in my shoulder, and I wound up having to do a medical withdrawal. And that wound up snowballing into a whole bunch of other negative experiences that just really turned me off of the American educational system. As a student, like, I didn't have any control or any power or anything, and I didn't want to be part of a system where that was the business model, basically. Like, so so by the time I finished my degree requirements in 2019, I was also working full-time in psychiatric acute care from 2017 to 2019, the last 2 years of my studies. And I was just super burnt out on both music and psychology and realized I needed to change. So I pivoted into digital marketing. When I started, I had zero experience, but one of my superpowers is learning new things. So I had no trouble diving in, hyper focusing on teaching myself digital marketing and moving forward with that new side of my business. I started with a focus on marketing operations, no code automation, and email marketing. And eventually this evolved into just a general digital operations consulting business where I primarily focus on helping creative businesses with their online operations. During the COVID lockdown, I dove deep down the Notion rabbit hole because at the time I was managing almost 70 different client projects and I needed a system to help me keep track of all the things. And regular productivity project management apps just didn't work with my brain because, spoiler, I have ADHD. This was around the time that I discovered Marie Poulin on YouTube, and I wound up signing up as one of the first students in her Notion Mastery course. And through her YouTube videos and then going through Notion Mastery and just interacting with her, it was the first time I actually started suspecting that I might have ADHD because the way she set up her Notion workspace and shared via YouTube, that was the first time that it really clicked for me. And I was like, oh, like, this makes sense to my brain. Maybe all of those other productivity apps out there aren't, like, they're not wrong. They're just not right for me. And maybe the reason is because my brain is a little bit different. Oh, wow. So through that experience with that course, I started creating and sharing Notion templates. I began this YouTube channel, and then I started to dip my toes into the world of Notion consulting. Around turn of the year 2021, 2022, I became a Notion ambassador. And then a year later, I applied to become a Notion certified consultant, and I was officially certified as a consultant in February 2023. My full-time income for the past 2.5 years or so has been through my Notion and digital ops consulting biz, Rhythm Productive. I still sell Notion templates for musicians specifically, and I love hopping on one-to-one consulting calls for coaching and answering specific questions. But right around the end of 2023, beginning of 2024, I burned out really hard on Notion consulting. Like, working with clients became a struggle. I didn't have energy to do full workspace builds, and I kind of realized I needed a little bit of a change. And this is when I started feeling a really strong urge to return to my roots. And I started prioritizing my first loves, music and psychology. In this case, namely through sound healing. Welcome to my Sonic Sanctuary. This is my sound healing setup for recording guided meditations, recording YouTube videos for my music and sound healing channel, linked down below, and for offering virtual sessions through my sound healing business, Harmonic Vibes. It's just so soothing. I've spent the last 6 months in the Sound Healer Business Accelerator program with Becca Laredo, and I am just about ready to submit all my materials for official certification through ISTA, the International Sound Therapy Association. I cannot even express how much sound healing has helped me recover from my ADHD burnout. And that's one of the reasons why I want to help other neurosparklies with their burnout recovery and anxiety management through sound healing and the mindset shifts that have helped me. I'm building a signature program based on my 7-part harmony framework to teach people with ADHD the mindset shifts and habits that I've implemented in my own life over the past year to heal my burnout and better manage my life and ADHD symptoms. My signature program is going to include a 7-week online course, a library of supporting resources, a community of like-minded neurosparklies, and optional weekly group coaching calls. So if this sounds like something you'd be interested in, definitely check out the link in my description to sign up for the waitlist. Okay, so what does all of this mean for this channel? Well, since I already have a separate channel for my music and sound healing, for this channel, I really want to share a little bit more of the behind the scenes of life as a creative ADHD entrepreneur. I'm not totally retiring my Notion and digital ops consulting biz, and I still have tons of really cool Notion template ideas, so I will still be sharing some Notion content here. But moving forward, I'm not only going to be sharing Notion. I'll be sharing more of my experiences as an ADHD entrepreneur, some tutorials and Notion templates, as well as peaceful productivity tips and mindset shifts for better work-life creativity balance. So if this sounds like something that vibes with you, definitely stick around. But if it doesn't vibe with you, go ahead and hit that unsubscribe button. No hard feelings. Well, maybe just a couple hard feelings, but what am I going to do about it anyways? And if you want to connect even deeper about music, mindset, and peaceful productivity, be sure to sign up for my newsletter down in the description below. I am so psyched to have you on this journey with me, and as always, stay creative.